Have you ever looked at your schedule and thought, how am I supposed to plan for a 45-minute class, an 80-minute block, and a rotating intervention / extension all on the same day? You're not alone.
Welcome to the Secondary Teacher Podcast, the podcast for middle and high school teachers juggling multiple preps to get the strategies to reduce overwhelm so that you don't have to choose between being an effective teacher and prioritizing important relationships. I'm your host, Kristen Masick, a 10-year high school engineering teacher, former middle school assistant principal, and teacher coach. Every week, we will discuss strategies, systems, and time-saving tips to help you not only survive, but thrive as a multiple prep teacher.
Kathleen recently reached out and asked, I've taught on a modified block before, and I loved it, but next year, one section of my class meets for 80 minutes, the other for 45, and then there's this rotating intervention extension class thrown in with no consistency. How am I supposed to plan for that? So honestly, Kathleen, that kind of chaos would have made me cry any year of teaching, but especially if I were a newish teacher. While I never had to teach two sections of the same class with totally different lengths on the same day, I've definitely been hit with unpredictable schedules that made planning nearly impossible, like advisory periods filled with random students or rotating interventions where my class was last on the priority list. Here's what I've learned from that experience and how you can simplify your planning when your schedule feels like a moving target. So let's break this down into 4 key strategies to help you plan across a disjointed, rotating schedule without creating a brand new lesson for every time slot. So the first thing you're going to do is anchor each lesson around a core routine. You don't need to plan a whole new activity for every time block. You need a structure that you can trust. So I like to use the framework I teach in the Multiple Prep Teacher Academy, which is introduce, practice, produce. You are introducing a concept, you are giving students time to practice it as a, not necessarily like an independent practice, but a guided practice, and then you are turning it over for them to produce something. So even if your class time changes from day to day, that structure stays the same, and it gives you an easy way to swap things in and out while keeping students grounded. Number 2, choose repeatable protocols for each chunk. Let's say that you decide that the first 15 minutes of each block is introduce. So that chunk can use the same protocol every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's one protocol, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So some examples could be think, pair, share. You could add a twist to it. It could be a silent gallery walk with sentence starters. It could be peer teaching. You are going to figure out what those 2 to 3 protocols would be. You only need 2 to 3 go-to protocols for each phase of learning. That's it. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. You're just switching out the questions or prompts, but the structure stays the same. If you're teaching leveled classes like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced, then you can use that same routine with different depth on each. Number 3, build a plug and play routine bank. This is one of the things I wish I had done sooner. Instead of hunting for new activities each week, create a bank of your favorite routines with clear steps and plug in content. Then when it's time to plan, you are going to choose the routine, plug in the new content or concept based on that day's objective, and then you are going to adjust the depth based on the class level or the time block. This is exactly what I walk you through in the Multiple Prep Teacher Academy, and it works whether your class is 45 minutes or 90. Number 4, shift from planning by class to planning by routine. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Don't plan one class at a time, plan one routine at a time. Instead of thinking, I need to plan intro to ASL, intermediate ASL, and advanced ASL, think, on Tuesday, all my classes are doing a peer discussion protocol. I just need to prep the questions. When you plan this way, you're no longer running 3 separate races. You're running one streamlined system with differentiated layers. If you're facing a chaotic schedule next year, whether it's rotating tutorials, stacked preps, or 2 versions of the same class, this is the kind of system that will save your sanity. Inside the Multiple Prep Teacher Academy, I show you exactly how to set up a flexible lesson framework that adapts to any schedule, create a routine bank that works across preps, and cut your planning time without sacrificing quality. And if you're not ready for that step yet, grab my free mini PD, Make AI Your Teaching Assistant. It'll help you automate your warm-ups, routines, and reflections so you're not carrying every class in your brain. You don't need to have a separate plan for each class and every time block. You just need a simple system that scales. Let's simplify together. Until next week.